Peace be with you. This is Bishop Doherty with a word about the Global Synod, which you might have heard about at church and in your parish bulletin. The Global Synod has been called by our Holy Father in order to have a listening session globally. That sounds pretty grand and pretty diffuse, and it'll come into focus as time goes on. The process is supposed to help us to do that. A synod really symbolizes journeying together. And we have to pay attention to what the Holy Father is saying and what we're reading in our Catholic press and online, because people are interested sometimes in other themes. And so we have to say what this is and what it isn't. What it is a listening together. It wasn't a theme, a process started after the Second Vatican Council. It started in the very beginning of the church with people listening to each other about how to best be church. And it started in Acts of the Apostles. If you want to read a synodal document, go back to the Acts of the Apostles. We're going to be listening to each other in a spirit of prayer. We're going to have all kinds of meetings, most of them fairly small, maybe 25 or fewer people, across the diocese and in various settings and with various kinds of groups. These meetings are going to start with prayer to the Holy Spirit and ask for that Spirit's impulse during the meeting. When we come to these, we're all going to be listeners. You'll hear more about the structure later. The Holy Father has pointed out that the Synod is not a referendum on any particular issue. A Synod is not a parliament where people get together to legislate the future. It's not going to be a town hall meeting. It's going to have a real religious focus, a real spiritual focus, and that focus comes out of the Spirit's action through us as baptized people. So each of us have a role to play in this. We have a team of clergy and laity setting up the plan for the diocese. You're going to be reading more about this in the Catholic Moment. You're going to be seeing a web selection at the diocesan website. We have a section just for the news with regard to the Synod. We're going to be picking some themes for starters to ask people to reflect on their faith and on their church and their experience of Christ in their life. We're going to come up after these meetings with a March report. This then will be distilled here in the diocese, and we'll see what bubbles up in all of these conversations, then present those to the U.S. Bishop's office. They will take it to Rome, and then people from around the world will have plenty of material to talk about in a process that's going to end by 2023. So this isn't a short-term thing. It's going to require some prayer, whether we're part of a listening process or whether we're observers of what's going on in other dioceses, other countries. So keep this project in your prayer. It's a very personal and spiritual one, very important at this time in the Church's history. Thank you.